Today, let's learn the lesson Discovering Tut. The saga continues by A.R. Williams from Class 11 Hornbill. About the author. A.R. Williams or Anne Williams is a former senior writer for National Geographic magazine and online news. Her specialization is in the field of archaeology, about which she writes features about places varying from Egypt to as far as Alaska. She also writes about any new discoveries that take place. Introduction. Discovering Tut, the saga continues, gives an insight into the mystery surrounding the life and death of Tutankhamun, the last teenage ruler of the powerful Pharaoh dynasty that had ruled Egypt for centuries. He was the last of his family's line, and his funeral brought an end to his powerful dynasty. Not much is known about his family. Here is a summary of the chapter. King Tut's mummy was one of the first mummies to be taken for a CT scan. As the mummy of King Tut was glided for performing a CT scan, angry winds stirred and dark clouds covered the stars. His scan was being done to unearth the mysteries that had surrounded his death. Tourists had lined to pay their respects to the mummy of the famous Egyptian king Tutankhamun and made speculations about his untimely death. The mummy was in a very bad state, according to Zahi Hawass, Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities. King Tut's tomb was first discovered in 1922 by Howard Carter, a British archaeologist. Tut was found buried with numerous funerary treasures in a coffin made of pure gold. The treasures found included precious collars, inlaid necklaces and bracelets, rings, amulets, a ceremonial apron, sandals, and sheaths for his fingers and toes. These treasures are till date the richest royal collections ever found. Some everyday items considered to be needed in the afterlife, like board games, bronze razor, linen undergarments, cases of food and wine, were also found. This revealed that the ancient Egyptians believed in the idea of resurrection and hoped to take their riches with them. Howard Carter investigated the three nested coffins. In the first, a shroud adorned with garlands of willow and olive leaves, wild celery, lotus petals, and cornflowers were found. This gave vague evidence that the death might have taken place in the month of March or April. Carter faced difficulty in extracting the mummy of the king out of the coffin. The ritual resins had hardened, resulting in cementing of Tut to the bottom of the solid gold coffin. Though Carter unsuccessfully tried to use the sun to loosen the resins, there was no other way left to separate the mummy from the adornments than to chisel it away. Its head had to be removed and the major joints had to be detached. The only ground for Carter to defend himself for chiseling Tut was that thieves would have ripped the body apart to rob the gold if he had not chiseled it. As archaeology changed with the advent of time, it focused more on details of life and mysteries of death than on treasures. Some 40 years after Carter's discovery, in 1968, a startling fact was revealed in the discovery of an anatomy professor who had x-rayed the mummy. He claimed that the breastbone and the front ribs of the mummy were missing. Amenhotep III ruled for almost 4 decades during the 18th dynasty, Golden Age. He was succeeded by his son Amenhotep IV, who pioneered one of the odd periods in the history of ancient Egypt. He made some drastic and unpleasant changes. He promoted the worship of the Aten, the sun disk, and changed his name to Akhenaten. He moved the religious capital to the new city of Akhetaten. He made some drastic, unpleasant changes. He destroyed the images and temples of Amun, a major god. After his demise, a ruler named Smenkhar reigned for a brief time. Finally, Tutankhaten took the throne and restored the old order destroyed by his predecessors. He reigned for about 9 years. Tutankhamun, or King Tut as he is widely known today, died as a teenage pharaoh and was buried laden with gold. He was the last heir of the family of rulers who had ruled Egypt for centuries. His unexpected demise was a big event, and the reasons for his death remained unclear. Two of the biggest questions are still unanswered about him. How did he die? And how old was he at the time of his death? In the year 2005, King Tut's mummy became one of the first mummies to undergo a CT scan, in death as in life, moving regally ahead of his countrymen. The CT scan was led by Zahi Hawass and done with a portable CT machine. The scan came up with new clues about his life and death. It provided precise data for an accurate forensic reconstruction of King Tut. Due to sand in the cooler fan of the CT machine, they had to use two plastic fans to complete the scanning process. Tut's body was examined over a computer screen with the help of a CT scan. It showed a grey head, neck vertebrae, a hand, several images of the rib cage, and a transection of the skull. After collecting the data for the scan, the pharaoh was sent back to the place he belonged, that is, his coffin. It was a relief for Zahi Hawass as nothing had gone seriously wrong with the mummy. After their observations, when they left, the wind had stopped and the surrounding came to a deathly silence. In the sky, just above the entrance to Tut's tomb, stood Orion, the constellation, also called by the Egyptians as the soul of Osiris, the god of afterlife, watching over the boy king.